Silas.
How could you?
The throne belongs to me.
Hello, and welcome back to the shadows. A madman's trap has been set, forcing a choice between a queen's crown and a daughter's heart. To my devoted pack, I know you've been holding your breath. For anyone just joining us, I'm glad you're here for the impossible decision. Subscribe and activate the bell, because the queen's choice will either save her family or doom her kingdom. Before the moon climbs any higher, I have a question for you. Can a king truly rule if he cannot protect his queen? Or is a queen's first duty always to her family? Let me know your stance in the comments. Now, let's face the ultimatum. The silence in the courtyard was a living thing, heavy and suffocating. Every warrior's eye was on us, on the parchment in my hand, on the king whose face was a mask of thunder. I looked from the ultimatum to Riker, and through our bond, I felt the war raging within him, the alpha's instinct to protect his mate, warring with the king's duty to his realm. He took the scroll from my numb fingers, his voice a low, lethal command that cut through the night. No, he said, not to me, but to the world. I will not trade my queen. We will march, and I will burn Silas's legacy from this earth. His commanders roared in approval, their bloodlust ignited. But I felt a cold dread wash over me. This was the reaction Silas wanted, a blind, furious charge. You can't, I said, my voice steady despite the tremor in my soul. I stepped in front of him, forcing his fiery gaze to meet mine. He is counting on your rage. He wants you to attack, to sacrifice the hostages so he can paint you as a monster. He is using my family to turn your own people against you. A murmur went through the assembled warriors. I felt Riker's frustration through the bond, a heated wave of it. He has threatened my mate. He has threatened you, he growled, the king's authority warring with the husband's fury. And I am your queen, I countered, my voice ringing with newfound power. Not a pawn to be protected, but a player in this game. He expects a king's move. He will not anticipate a queen's. Riker dismissed the royal guard with a wave of his hand, ordering them to stand down but remain ready. The courtyard cleared, leaving us alone with General Kale and Lorian in the center of the tense, moonlit space. Riker's eyes never left mine, a silent conversation passing between us through the bond. The inferno of his rage was still there, but now it was tempered by a dawning understanding, a flicker of the strategic mind I knew he possessed. He was finally seeing the board not just as a king, but as my partner. What do you propose? He asked, his voice low and for my ears only. He wants the queen. Alone, I whispered. So he will get her, but he will not get a victim. I looked at Kale's hardened face and Lorian's cautious one. Silas believes my heart is his weapon. He doesn't know that my heart is now bonded to the greatest weapon in this kingdom. A slow, dangerous smile spread across Riker's face. He understood. The bond, he breathed, a wave of fierce pride washing over me. He can demand you come alone, but he cannot sever the connection between us. You will feel what I feel, see what I see, I confirmed, my hand finding his. You and a small elite guard can follow. Unseen, you will be my shadow, my hidden blade. Lorian, you will lead a second force to the village of Silverwood and await my signal. When Silas springs his trap, we will spring ours. General Kale's eyes widened, then a grin split his scarred face. By the goddess. A pincer movement led by the queen herself. The audacity. Riker's hand tightened on mine, his knuckles white. The thought of putting me in harm's way was still a torment to him, but the brilliance of the plan, my plan, was undeniable. It is decided, he declared. We will play the traitor's game by our own rules. The walk to the standing stones was the longest of my life. The air was cold, the path uneven, but I felt the steadying warmth of Riker's presence through our bond, a silent promise that I was not, and would never be, truly alone. I clutched the dagger he had given me, its cold weight a comfort. I saw them as I cleared the tree line, a circle of ancient, moss-covered stones silhouetted against the rising moon. In the center, my family was huddled together, bound and gagged, flanked by two of Silas's brutal-looking guards. Silas stepped out from behind the largest stone, a cruel, triumphant smirk on his face. "So the little queen comes to heal," he taunted. "Brave of you, or perhaps just foolish." "Release them," I said, my voice betraying none of the fear clawing at my throat. "All in due time," he sneered. "First, I want you to see the real reason your king's plans always seem to fail." He gestured to the shadows, and a second figure emerged. My blood ran cold. It was not a warrior. It was a stooped, gray-haired man in the robes of a royal councilman, Lord Valerius. One of Riker's most trusted political advisors, a man who had served the throne for 50 years. I felt Riker's shock and searing betrayal echo my own through the bond. "You look surprised, Your Majesty," Valerius said, his voice thin and reedy, yet filled with a chilling venom. "For generations my family has been overlooked. Now we will have the respect we are owed." Silas laughed, a harsh, grating sound. "You see, my dear, your bond is not the advantage you think it is." He held up a small, dark, pulsating crystal. "Lord Valerius provided me with more than just troop movements. He provided me with this. A charming little relic that dampens magic." He crushed it in his hand, and a wave of nauseating energy washed over me. And the bond Riker's warmth, his strength, his presence in my mind was gone. I was utterly, terrifyingly alone. The trap was sprung, but not the one they had planned for. The queen is cut off, her secret weapon neutralized, and a traitor has been revealed in the heart of the kingdom. Silas has the upper hand, and the moon is still rising. If you need to know how the queen will fight back from this, make sure you have smashed that like button, subscribed, and turned on all notifications for Part 5. Let me know in the comments. With the bond broken, is there any hope left? Or has the queen walked into her own doom? Until our next story, stay wild.